He's gonna be all right, man. Another thing I want to touch on is the Floyd situation. Floyd is Floyd.
Calvin Ford trolled Floyd Mayweather in an interview over his conflict with Gervonta Davis, but he wasn't ready for what was going to come at him.
Well, my thing is, I've always been there for him from day one.
Floyd deemed it a disrespect, and his response is about to bring Ford into the whole chaos.
Floyd is Floyd. That's like I say, tank is tank, man. But at the end of the day, the man is chasing greatness.
After successfully leading Gervonta Davis to the 30th victory of his career against Frank Martin at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, Calvin Ford disrespected Floyd Mayweather in an interview while he discussed several other topics.
We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion.
Expectedly, Calvin Ford is one of the very few people who has been with Gervonta Tank Davis over the years without having a feud split them apart. Hence, he revealed some shocking details about the feud between Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather.
Tank had a great argument, about when he didn't show up, man. He wanted his name to be up in lights like the rest of them. The Floyd.
Of course, he disrespected the boxing legend as he spoke, and Floyd, whose boxing legacy is diminishing as a result of his questionable displays in recent times, has now fired back at Calvin Ford.
He wanted his name to be up in lights like the rest of them. The Floyd.
It was a moment of triumph for Gervonta Davis, but Floyd Mayweather forced his name on the headlines again by doing the most unexpected thing, which provoked Calvin Ford to the point that he disrespected Floyd. "I want to talk about the Floyd situation," he said. "Floyd is Floyd."
He's gonna be all right, man. Another thing I want to touch on is the Floyd situation. Floyd is Floyd. This
came after an embarrassing display from Floyd Mayweather, following a spectacular win for Gervonta Davis, who used to be mentored by the 50-0 boxer. A strategized release of old footage of a young Davis and Devin Haney sparring was released by Mayweather. The video does not have much that is extraordinary. What has caused suspicion in the boxing environment is the moment that Mayweather chose to release it. The timing of the release is designed to put Davis in a bad light, as Mayweather is no longer coy with the young knockout artist after they parted their separate ways. Davis drove a stake into the relationship by calling Mayweather a fraud in the post-fight presser. Money Mayweather's response has gone viral. On Saturday night, Tank scored another victory, beating Frank Martin by a resounding knockout in the 8th round. The fight marked the debut of streaming giant Amazon Prime in boxing shows. The win solidifies Davis's position as one of the pound-for-pound best of the moment, granting him leverage in negotiations for a rematch with Ryan Garcia or a fight against Vasily Lomachenko. Some think that the video was a petty attempt by Mayweather to tarnish Davis's victory somehow, although if that had been the end, the boxer turned promoter made a mistake, as in the footage, you can see an out-of-shape Tank holding up without a problem against a Haney who is in fighting shape. Others think that it was a way to cause excitement due to the recent arrival of Richard Schaefer to Mayweather Promotions. Also, the release of the footage is a big boost to the profile of Haney, who is coming off the first loss of his career, and a loss that stings a bit worse as it came from combat sport's biggest troll, Ryan Garcia. For Haney to go about 20 minutes with Gervonta Davis and not only hold his own, but to be the hammer in the session, lifts his stock at least a notch or two. Another interesting angle to this situation is that Mayweather and Bill Haney Devin's father father didn't seem so cordial following his son's loss. The two were on a podcast together and the tension was felt. So, for Mayweather to post this video that helps the Haney family, it shows just how much disdain he must have for Davis. Following the release of the footage, Calvin Ford was forced to discuss the conflict between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis while he graced a virtual interview with Fight Hub TV, claiming Floyd Mayweather should be happy to sail with Gervonta Davis as he cruised to his 30th career victory in 30 fights.
He's going to be all right, man. Another thing I want to touch on is the Floyd situation, you know. Floyd is Floyd. That's like I say, Tank is Tank, man. But at the end of the day, you know.
Sadly, it's the other way around. He began, like I say, Tank is Tank. But at the end of the day, you know, the man is chasing greatness. You should be supporting greatness. I always tell you that you should be supporting that.
You know, the man is chasing greatness. And you should be supporting that. I always tell you that. You should be supporting that, you know.
He also claimed it was this kind of situation that revealed the true color of people, and this was the case with Floyd Mayweather. He said, "It's a rocky road where we see what's going on. Just pay attention. The story is going to reveal itself." But again, that's how a lot of people are. Somebody said that's the true colors of a person coming out, man.
It's a rocky road that we seeing what's going on. Just pay attention, man. The story is going to reveal itself, you know. But again, that's how you burn bridges. Somebody said this is the true colors of a person that's coming out, man.
They can't stand, you know, comfortably. I don't like using that word, man, but our Lord knows. He knows. He knows. He concluded. As diplomatic as Calvin Ford sounded, his words did much damage to Floyd Mayweather, who wasn't having any more disrespect from Gervonta Tank Davis and his team. Floyd Mayweather then hastily questioned Calvin Ford's disrespect.
They can't stand it, you know. Calm is I don't like using that word calm, you know, but our Lord knows. He knows.
You all talk too much about things you have no idea of, Floyd Mayweather said, referring not only to Calvin Ford, but other boxing professionals and supporters who have trolled him for posting the full sparring video of Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis at a very crucial moment. How many of y'all will see someone you raised betray you and you won't do worse? Even his trainer knows, but I'm not surprised. People say things once they get blinded. It's good to be blinded, but they should get a 50-0 before they talk, Floyd concluded. Floyd Mayweather had an illustrious career that saw him bag 50 wins in all 50 fights, and he was challenging Calvin Ford to train Gervonta Davis for 20 more unbeaten fights before talking to him.
From day one, we had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion.
While Floyd Mayweather trolled Calvin Ford, his contribution towards Gervonta Davis's career can't be underestimated.
I keep telling y'all, he say he's the king, and this vicious right here.
Since the beginning, he has had the same trainer beside him. However, the duo's meteoric rise has a backstory. Tank Davis grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, and it is from this place that the world has received a fighter and a world champion.
And the king hold his kingdom down. When you have a vicious crew come through, we coming through. You hear what I say? We vicious.
He started boxing at the Upton Boxing Center when he was a kid. He was training under Quader Gurley, Gervonta Davis's current coach's son at the time. Thus began the quest of a young boxer. As per Los Angeles Times, when Davis's childhood coach was moving to New Jersey, he asked his father Calvin Ford to train young Gervonta Davis. He said,
"We ain't just boxing. We doing this. Be prepared.
I need you to stay with Shorty Davis because you'll be a good role model for him." Ever since then, he has been glued to my side, said Ford. Calvin Ford has a tumultuous past of his own. He was once involved in drug dealing before becoming a boxing coach. Surprisingly, Ford was the inspiration for a character dubbed Dennis Cuddy Wise from the acclaimed HBO series The Wire.
Stop playing with my youngin'. Stop playing with my youngin'.
A world champion was being made while The Wire was being shot. Today, we know that world champion by the name of Gervonta Tank Davis. Ford has seen Davis rise from his childhood. The trainer has a lot of faith in his protege. He says the world will tell stories about Davis in the years to come. Now you hear stories about Mike Tyson, and a few fighters come every 10 years. I truly believe he's one of those fighters.
Roger never got trainer of the year when Floyd was fighter of the year. His dad never got trainer of the year.
Talking about Calvin Ford, Leonard Ellerby once said, Roger never got Trainer of the Year when Floyd was Fighter of the Year. His dad never got Trainer of the Year. So, I've been openly expressing that, and I think it's time Calvin gets this adjusted.
His dad never got Trainer of the Year. So, I've been openly expressing that.
And just over the weekend, Calvin Ford trained Gervonta Davis to the 30th victory of his career. At the grand arrival where Gervonta Davis was absent, Calvin Ford made several promises to supporters of Tank Davis, and on fight night, he delivered beyond expectations and shut down all naysayers. At the grand arrival, Calvin Ford made more shocking revelations about Gervonta Davis's preparations. He claimed Gervonta Tank Davis was working hard to ensure rustiness does not affect him in the ring, as he doesn't want to underestimate his opponent in any way. In fact, Gervonta Davis had said he doesn't want his case to be like that of Devin Haney, who underestimated Ryan Garcia until he was dropped 3 times en route, the first loss of his 32-match career. So much had happened in the space of 14 months, and they didn't want this to be the reason why the more active Frank Martin would gain some edge over his opponent. There was a collective groan around the MGM Grand Lobby when it was announced that Gervonta Tank Davis would not actually be arriving at his own grand arrival on Tuesday. The fight week opener fizzled ahead of Davis's scheduled World Boxing Association lightweight title defense against Frank Martin on Saturday, and disappointed fans were left shaking their heads, with Davis trainer Calvin Ford left to carry the can and break the news. "I want to apologize to the fans," Ford said, killing the buzz that had built since the scheduled arrivals started some 90 minutes earlier.
Business, y'all. We've been waiting for this for a while. It's been a while since we've been in the ring. So we just want to come out and put on a great performance for the fans. It's all about the fans at the end of the day.
He can't make it at this moment because he's been delayed, but he's going to make it up to y'all on fight night. Trust what I'm saying to you all. You all want to see this performance that he's going to put on to the fans. Davis had earlier taken to X to write, "The promotion for this fight was nonsense. Now watch I don't show up to the arrival stuff today."
And it's about momentum. And when it comes to Gervonta Davis, I don't think you can have more momentum than coming into this matchup.
Fans had been asked repeatedly by roving reporter Kinsey Wolanski during the previous hour and a half who they were on hand to see. And while some had come to catch a glimpse of David Benavidez ahead of his fight with Alexander Gvozdyk, the majority had come for Davis, and Tank Fever swept through the lobby. "We're back in business. We've been waiting for this for a while," Ford said of Davis's first fight back after 14 months.
During last year's super fight against Ryan Garcia, since that last performance, not giving us specifics, but how much has Tank improved?
Oh, watching them in camp, it scares me. Yeah.
We want to put on a great performance. We want to put on a great performance for the fans at the end of the day. Watching him in camp, it scares me because of the things he's doing and his maturity when he gets in that ring. I've seen him listen to a conversation, listen to what's going on, and he's really focused.
Very focused, but you have an update on Gervonta Davis in regards to his status for today.
I want to apologize to the fans that he can't make it at this moment because he's been delayed. But we're going to make it up to y'all fight night. Trust what I'm saying to y'all.
Asked about the threat posed by Detroit's Martin, Ford said, "It's serious because it's a different type of fight. You can't sleep on Frank. Frank is coming to put on that party. He showed it at the press conference. He showed it throughout the whole ordeal for being a young guy that's coming on the scene at this level right here. I want people to leave, watch TV, and leave the arena saying that's one of the classiest fights we've seen since the old days."
Well, y'all know we in camp, we training and whatnot, right? And I've been like, how would I say, pushing the button, you know what I'm saying? Because, we've been gone for so long and whatnot,
However, Calvin Ford also highlighted the fact that Gervonta Davis is doing everything to fight rustiness. He's been great as expected in training, however. That's still a huge factor when compared to the more active Frank Martin. And on fight night, despite starting slow, he pulled off one of his best performances that led him to an 8th-round knockout win over Frank Martin. All of Calvin Ford's shots at Floyd Mayweather came after another interview, where Floyd Mayweather spoke about Gervonta Davis's acts and exonerated himself like he had no fault. During the interview, he was asked if Tank Davis's recent acts prove him ungrateful. He replied, "My thing is, I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion and take Tank to that next level, and I've always been there for him."
Say is ungrateful when it comes to you?
Well, my thing is, I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion.
Over the years, I've always been positive. always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great. But over the years, he's constantly going on the internet to take a shot at Floyd, constantly being disrespectful, when all I've ever been was respectful to try to help this fighter go as far as he could possibly go. That's all I ever did. He then referenced the famous video in which Gervonta Davis accused him of sending an attack. He denied Gervonta Davis's claims and explained his intentions, saying, "A lot of times they like to compare certain fighters, and then I say certain things and they say, oh, he's hating. There's no difference from when I talked about the thing with Gervonta."
I need all fighters. I said, I need all the young fighters that's making money in the sport of boxing. What I need you guys to do is do this.
For instance, when I said that I need all the young fighters making money in the sport of boxing, and what I need you guys to do is do this. Whether it's Chromat, Louis, Mercedes, Gucci, we need to take our money and invest in real estate so that we can live the same great life when our careers are over. So I guess he took that as he's the only one that wears Chromat. He's the only one that wears Louis Vuitton. He's the only one that wears Mercedes. Last time I checked, we've got fighters all over the world that wear top flight clothes that make good money. Even the fighters that don't make good money find a way to fly jets and fly whips.
We need to take our money and invest in real estate so that we can live that same great life when our careers are over.
Floyd was asked about the top 5 fighters in the lightweight division, and he responded, "As of right now, well, the 2 guys, the biggest puncher I feel at 135 will probably be Gervonta Davis, but the most skillful fighter will be hands down Shakur Stevenson."
He want to fight the best they got out there. He's asking, can he fight the best? I believe his contract.
Talking about Shakur Stevenson, Floyd Mayweather compared his skillfulness to Pernell Whitaker, who wasn't the heaviest puncher, but had the skill set to take on the best and get the better of them. I believe his contract is coming to an end, so hopefully we can come together and I can take him to the levels that he needs and make the fights happen that he wants.
It's coming to an end, so hopefully we can come together and I can take him to that next level and give him the fights that he want, and make the fights happen that he want.
On the show, Floyd Mayweather was asked about his thoughts after Roy Jones Jr. claimed he deserved to be called the best ever TBE more than anyone else. Responding, he said, "Well, everybody for starters, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I'm glad Roy Jones feels that way about himself. Every fighter that gave the sport of boxing their whole life and sacrificed a lot inside that squared circle, they should feel that way. So if he feels that way, you know, more power to him."
That's gave the sport of boxing their whole life and sacrificed a lot inside that square circle. They should feel that way. So if he feels that way, you know, more power to him.
I have one fight, and the fight was at a catch weight, but it wasn't my idea. Anyone can go online and pull this up. It was an article. So with Canelo, at one time, I believe Canelo thought I was scared of him, that I was afraid. So he said, "Floyd doesn't want to fight me. I'm willing to meet him at 152 or 152.5 pounds. And me, I called his bluff and said, if you want to do it, let's do it at 152 or 152.5. But after Canelo made the weight, it wasn't like it was a certain clause where he couldn't gain weight. He weighed 152 or 152.5. I think he came in at 168 or close to 170, but I came in at 151 or 152.
So with Canelo said, I believe Canelo at one particular time thought I was scared of him, you know, that I was afraid. So he said, Floyd don't want to fight me. I'm willing to meet him at 152 pounds or 152.
But Roy Jones is one hell of a fighter. He's done a lot for the sport of boxing, and I'm absolutely proud of Roy Jones. Floyd Mayweather's comments on Tank Davis were really long overdue, as his retort had been expected for weeks. The former promoter-boxer duo has been embroiled in a feud on social media after Davis alleged Floyd took a sly dig at him while speaking about boxers opting to spend their money instead of investing it. Amid a flurry of words and shade thrown back and forth, Davis's appearance in Cigar Talk after his face-off against Frank Martin yesterday unraveled their feud while announcing the bigger deal. Speaking to Davis, Najee from Cigar Talk broached the feud with Mayweather, which prompted a profound response from the Baltimore native.
And I'm doing it at a young age. Wait, like when Floyd was 29.
A lot of people don't know what Floyd does. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went to him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd, said Davis, referring to Mayweather's initial comment that he thought was directed at him. When Najee pointed out that over the years, Davis and Floyd's dynamic seemed like a love-hate relationship, Davis completely denied it while claiming he had surpassed Floyd's legacy. "I'm about at that point where I have passed him, and I am doing it at a young age," said Tank. However, Davis wasn't done proving his point, as he elaborated, revealing a new deal he had signed. According to several reports, Mayweather's deal with Showtime in 2013 was worth $200 million.
You'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, that's
That
a
deal,
part
that
of the
deal, he don't know about that yet.
That deal I'm talking about, he doesn't know about that yet. That's bigger than his deal, said the lightweight champion. However, Davis did not reveal the amount of the mega deal he signed with PBC. On the other hand, Floyd Mayweather bought his way out of Top Rank by paying them $750,000 to end the contract and went on to promote his own fights, raking in millions over the years. Sadly, it's widely believed that the major reason Floyd Mayweather is returning to the ring in 2 months is for financial reasons after his recent crisis in Dubai.
3 rounds is nothing for me. Floyd.
And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.